Hello everyone, I'm going to play Warfleets by one-page rules. DAO Union versus Rebel Guerrillas. This DAO Union fleet is the one I tried in my first game, but I have tweaked it a little bit. Let's take a look. KL1 Gleam of Orvax has dropped Ace Carrier, but it's otherwise the same. We've got the Rangefinder to drop some spotting laser markers on the enemy, and then the Precision Teleporter to create a boarding team. Distant Harrier is a missile ship. We've replaced the Tide Shield with a Rail Lock Array. It still has the Shadow Fleet title, so it's going to hang out at the back, launching missiles and shooting the Rail Lock Array from afar. Yard number 47 Delta now has a proper name. It is the Azure Descent, and again it's a missile ship with a Rail Lock Array. Threxel's Promise and Canted Horizon. We've taken off all the gubbins from the turret, and they now both have a nice straightforward forward-mounted energy cannon. And the Scythe of Ioru has a forward-mounted rangefinder and a Tide Shield. Rounding out the points, we have 2 battlesuit squadrons and 3 smart missile squadrons. This rather hodgepodge selection of ships represents a Rebel Guerrillas fleet. Try Stopping Us Then is a medium ship, a Cadre ship. As it has the Rebel HQ special rule, I've given it a hero and a title. We have People's Hammer and Punisher. What weapons does it have? So, for all the Rebel Guerrilla ships, I just randomly chose what weapons and systems they have. So we have a rear-mounted Last Gasp gun, forward-mounted improvised charge, and side-mounted assault scramblers. We have 2 fuel tender ships. The first, Don't Ask About Reserves, is armed with side-mounted eulogy cannons and a front-mounted split railgun. Probably more than enough. The model actually is made out of milliputty. I used blue stuff mould to clone this fellow. That's why it looks a bit lumpier. It'll do the job. Armed in exactly the same way. A third-hand ship. Better than walking. A lock tether system, which I think lets it move squadrons around. Could be fun. And a forward-mounted rapid cannon. There's 2 corvettes, while it lasts, armed with a refit reactor, which makes it go faster, and a forward-mounted precision cannon. And Point Made, also made out of milliputty, armed in the same way. Squadrons. We have 4 Tempest squadrons. These ships are escorts, 2 fighter squadrons, and 2 gunship squadrons. I wanted to get hold of some flying bases, but found they were really expensive, so I just glued some screws to regular bases and shoved them up the hole, and there we go. Works pretty well. The mission is duel, and we have 2 objectives here and here. What have we got on the battlefield? We've got some debris fields, which will act as cover and difficult terrain. And then just a number of obstructions, space stations here and there. Here we go, the fleets are all set up. Special rules, I'll be using 2/3 measurements as always. Let's give random events a try. And then of course boarding actions. Alrighty, round 1. Let's see if there's a random event. There is. Right, it's going to be 32. Double salvo. I select 1 ship at random, and it gets to shoot twice with 1 random weapon this turn. Right, the randomly chosen ship is better off walking. However, all its weapons are super short range, so I don't know if that's really going to have any effect. Alright, it is the squadrons phase. Unlikely to be any shooting between squadrons this early in the battle, so I'll just move all the squadrons and catch up with you in a moment. Alright, here we go. So the DAO Union battlesuits have entered this debris field, smart missiles advancing down the centre, and with the Rebel Guerrillas. These Tempest squadrons have not moved their full distance because they need to kind of keep pace with the ships they're trying to protect. We've got fighters and gunships moving up the flanks. Okie dokes, light ships next, and we're going to start with Distant Harrier, who will launch 2 squadrons of smart missiles. And then let's try out this rail lock array. Now you can only fire this if you take a hold action, which is what we've done, and we're going to target one of these Tempest squadrons. So it's 2 dice. What is their evasion? 5+, so they're pretty dodgy. 1 hit. The rail lock array is strength 2, so the Tempest squadron will need a 6 to block. Does not, so that is 1 damage. The Rebel Guerrilla ship, probably more than enough, will cruise. Fuel tenders are really slow, so it only makes it that far. Azure Descent next, who will launch 2 squadrons of smart missiles and then fire its rail lock array at this gunship. Evasion is 5, 1 hit, a 6 needed to block, that's 1 damage. Don't ask about reserves, will cruise. Canted Horizon will move and then fire its turret at this gunship. Just a single attack at strength 0, it hits. Gunships are toughness 5. That is 1 wound. Better Than Walking will cruise. Precariously close to that fuel tender. Drexel's Promise is going to cruise as fast as it can towards this objective. Point Made next will cruise. Scythe of Aoru will move, and let's see what we can hit with this rangefinder. Alright, the enemy corvette is just out of range, so we'll target this Tempest squadron. Scoring 0 hits. We do still have a turret, which we will fire at the same Tempest squadron, hitting. Strength 0. It's blocked. The final Rebel light ship for this turn is While It Lasts, who is going to move, getting the extra speed from the refit reactor. And then it's going to see if it can knock out some of these smart missiles. So we'll fire the turret at 1 smart missile squadron. Smart missiles have evasion of 4+, so that is 1 hit. Toughness 6, doesn't block, and smart missiles blow up if they take any damage at all. And we'll fire the precision cannon at smart missile as well, which hits. What is that? Oh, it blocks. The final light ship, the Gleam of Orvax, will move and target with its rangefinder While It Lasts. Corvettes have an evasion of 4+, so we have 3 hits, that is 3 laser markers. The Gleam of Orvax's turret is out of range, so that is the end of the light ship phase, and we move on to medium ships, of which there is only 1. Try Stopping Us Then. So, Try Stopping Us Then has the lovely combination of being both quite slow and having short-range weapons, so it's just going to cruise on ahead. And that's it, end of the first round. No objectives have been collected thus far. Okay, round 2, let's go. Random event? Not this time. Alright, we're going to start with a DAO Union squadron, and yes, we're going to try flying these smart missiles straight into this enemy corvette. While It Lasts has 3 laser markers on here. We're going to use them all to get an extra smart missile hit, so that is 4 hits in total. Toughness is 4+, strength is 0, so we have 3 damage. So that takes out the refit reactor and 1 damage on the precision cannon. Kaboom! Okay, this rebel gunship is going to move here and engage Drexel's Promise. 2 attacks. What's the evasion? 4+, and strength 0. So we get 2 hits. Toughness 4+, both are blocked. Okay, we have more DAO Union smart missiles. They are going to fly straight into while it lasts. Toughness 4+, and while it lasts is space junk. Now I do need to keep track of how many rebel ships are destroyed because this affects the eulogy cannons on the fuel tenders and the cadre ships' People's Hammer. So we'll put that down there to remind me. Alright, this rebel gunship can't quite get into firing range, so we'll just cruise top speed. The DAO Union responds by sending some smart missiles that away. Tempest Squadron cautiously moves forwards. Smart missiles. Whoosh. And actually I think with most of the squadrons it's just going to be manoeuvring, so I will get all the squadrons moved and catch up with you in a moment. Alright, we do have some battle suits coming out from the debris here to engage this Tempest Squadron. 3 dice at strength 1. So evasion is 5+, 2 hits, and 6 is to block. Kaboom! That squadron's gone. These rebel fighters come screaming out of that debris field to engage the battle suits. From there. So +1 to hit because fighters are anti-squadron. 3 attacks, evasion is 5+, so that is 2 hits. Battle suits are pretty tough for squadrons, 4+. So that is 1 damage. The other squadron of DAO Union battle suits emerges from this debris field and engages the fighters. 3 attacks. 2 hits. And strength 1, so 6 is to block. The fighters are destroyed. The last squadron to move is this unit of Tempests. They will come and see if they can finish off these battle suits. 2 attacks, evasion is 5+, so that is 1 hit. Strength is 0, toughness 4+, it's blocked. Okay, we're on to light ships now, and we're going to start off with Threxel's Promise, who will move and collect this objective. Alright, let's try out this forward-mounted energy cannon. Firing at Don't Ask About Reserves. Energy cannon is an anti-ship weapon, however, fuel tenders have an evasion of 2+, so I'll be hitting on a 2 or better anyway. It's 3 attacks, 3 hits. Strength 1, fuel tenders have a toughness of 6. They really are awful ships, aren't they? So 1 block and 2 damage. I do want to try out this eulogy cannon, so we'll blow up the split railgun. Kaboom! And then Threxel's Promise will fire its turret into this gunship, scoring a hit. It's strength 0. That is not blocked. So with 1 damage, that's enough to take it out. Okay, we'll move Don't Ask About Reserves now, and use the side-mounted eulogy cannon to shoot at Threxel's Promise. So eulogy cannon, number of attacks is equal to the number of friendly ships that have been destroyed this round, so that is 1 attack at strength 3 and it is deadly. Got to hit first. Threxel's Promise has an evasion of 4+. It's a good hit. Strength 3 means only blocking on a 6, so that is 2 damage to one of the systems on Threxel's Promise. I was going to have the Tide Shield blow up, but Threxel's Promise is carrying an objective. We want survivability, so I've blown up the energy cannon instead. Tide Shield won't provide its benefit until round 3. Don't Ask About Reserves does have a very short range turret, which it will also shoot at Threxel's Promise, but it does not hit. As your descent activates next, holding position. launching 2 squadrons of smart missiles, and then we'll fire its rail lock array at this third-hand ship here. 2 attacks. Better Than Walking's evasion is 3+, so that is 1 hit. Strength 2, so a 6 needed to block, that's 1 damage. We'll take it on the lock tether, because I'm not sure how I'm going to use that system at the moment. Seems a bit specialist. Probably more than enough. We'll move. This will bring its eulogy cannon into range of something over here, yes. Right, we've got 1 good shot at Scythe of Ioru, which hits. The eulogy cannon is strength 3, so 6 to block. It's not a blocked, and it's deadly, so this is 2 damage to something. Okay, we will take out the Tide Shield. Right, we are going to move the Scythe of Ioru now. It will move forwards and shoot its rangefinder at the Cadra ship. 3 dice. Try Stopping Us then has an evasion of 3+, so that is 2 hits, and they become laser marker tokens. The Scythe of Ioru does still have its turret. We'll see if we can finish off this Tempest Squadron. Evasion is 5+, and it is a hit. Toughness 5+. It's blocked. Okay, the next rebel ship to move is Point Maid, who will move, buddying up with the Tempest Squadron, and then let's fire that precision cannon at Gleam of Orvax. Evasion is 4+, it's 1 attack, so that is a miss. Right, the turret next. Corvettes have 2 dice on their turret. We'll target these battle suits. Evasion is 5+, 0 hits. Okay, back to the DAO Union. We will move the Gleam of Orvax here, and we'll fire the rangefinder at Try Stopping Us then. So again, it's 3 dice. Evasion is 3+, 3 hits. They become laser marker tokens. So that's 5 now. Okay, the turret next. It is a Corvette, so that's 2 dice. We'll shoot at this Tempest Squadron. Evasion is 5+, so that is 1 hit. Strength 0, toughness 5. That's a damage, and the squadron is gone. Right, all the Gleam of Orvax has to do now is stay alive long enough to use its precision teleporter. Better Than Walking next. That lock tether might be more useful if you didn't have to use it when you activate. If you could move and then use it, that'd be pretty useful. Anyway, let's see what we can do. So, Better Than Walking will move excruciatingly slowly, and then fire its rapid cannon. I can pick 2 targets in my front arc, so we'll shoot at Threxel's Promise and 1 of the smart missile. It's 3 dice, so first against Threxel's Promise, only 1 hit. Strength 0, so blocking on a 4 or better, and it is blocked. Right, against the smart missile squadron next. Evasion 4+, that's 3 hits. Toughness 6, seems unlikely to survive. It's gone. Kaboom! Still got the turret, it's 2 dice, very short range, but it's in range. 1 hit. And Threxel's Promise tries to block on a 4 or better, it's blocked. Canted Horizon, yes, let's move. Let's blast the energy cannon at probably more than enough. 3 dice, hitting on 2 or better. 2 hits. Toughness 6. That's something blowing up. Let's keep these eulogy cannons, so we'll destroy the split railgun. And then Canted Horizon will fire its turret at this gunship. Do not want to get shot in the rear. It's a hit. Toughness 5 for a gunship. 1 damage. It's blown up. And the final light ship for this round is Distant Harrier, who will drop some smart missiles and then fire this rail lock array at something. These ships block line of sight, so it's going to have to be against Point Maid. 2 dice, evasion is 4, 0 hits. Oh dear. Okay, medium ship phase. We're going to move, try stopping us then. Tempting to advance to pick up the objective, but I'm actually going to just move. And let's fire the Assault Scrambler. So this is a side-mounted weapon. It fires boarding pods. We're going to shoot at the Gleam of Orvax. 4 dice. Evasion is 4+. So that is 3 hits. And they become boarding markers. Try Stopping Us then does have a front-mounted improvised charge, but it's not in range. So we'll move on to the turret, which is 2 attacks at strength 1, but with the People's Hammer hero, we get +1 attack for each friendly ship that's been destroyed, so it's going to be 3 attacks. Alright, the rebels want to take out that precision teleport on the Gleam of Orvax. So, let's see if we can hit. 1 hit. Strength 1, so Gleam of Orvax needs a 5 to block. It's blocked. Alright, that's it. That's the end of the round. Alright, let's move on to round 3. Is there a random event? Nope. So let's start with the DAO Union squadrons. Let's start with this damaged battlesuit squadron. Now, battlesuits can move even if they are engaged with an enemy squadron, so it's going to move on back here. However, we're still going to attack that Tempest squadron. We have 1 hit. Strength 1, so 6 to block. That's 1 damage. Okay, the rebels are focusing on destroying the Gleam of Orvax, so we'll send this Tempest squadron over. 1 hit. And toughness 4+. That is 1 damage on the Gleam. We'll take this one on the rangefinder. Okay, this other squadron of DAO Union battlesuits will come on over here and attack that Tempest squadron. Scoring just the 1 hit. Right, these rebel fighters can't quite get into engagement range of the battlesuit, so it is going to self-sacrifice, fly around here and engage these smart missiles which blow up. Toughness 6, so that is 1 damage on the fighters. And then it's just all these smart missiles to move, so let's do all that in one go. Alright, there we are. So we do have some smart missiles plunging into this fighter. So that's the toughness roll, so the fighters are unscathed. And then we've got 1 hit on Better Than Walking, toughness 5+, that's 1 damage. So the lock tether has gone kaboom. Light ships next, DAO Union to go first, and we're going to start with Gleam of Orvax. So there's 2 things that's going to happen when it activates. First of all, we need to deal with this rebel boarding party, and then it can use its own teleporter to send some marines over to try stopping us then. So, teleporter activated, these laser spotting marker tokens become boarding parties. Then I roll 1 die for each of these rebel squads. The 5 means that one of the rebel squads is taken out, and the 1 and the 4 is 2 damage on the Gleam. So that's the rangefinder destroyed, and 1 damage on the precision teleporter. And these 2 rebel squads stay on the Gleam of Orvax to potentially deal more damage next round. That's nasty. Alright, now the Gleam of Orvax will move here. Had contemplated going out in a blaze of glory and ramming the enemy medium ship there, but we'll go here and fire the turret instead. See if we can take out this Tempest squadron. 2 attacks, evasion 5+, so that is 0 hits. Heading over here now, Better Than Walking is going to hold position and fire that rapid cannon. So that's 3 dice against Threxel's Promise. 3 hits, could be nasty. Toughness is 4+. That's 2 damage. Now we're in round 3 now, so Threxel's Promise's Tide Shield activates. This gives an extra 4+ save. 1 is saved, that's 1 damage, which of course damages the Tide Shield. And then the other rapid fire volley will target the smart missiles. 1 hit. Could go kablooey. Yep, goes kablooey. Oh, and we still have the very short range turret, so 2 attacks against Threxel's Promise. 1 hit, which is blocked. I think we'll move Canted Horizon next. Let's fire this energy cannon at try stopping us then. So 3 dice, anti-ship, so +1 to hit, evasion is 3+, so we have 2 hits. Try stopping us then has a toughness of 3 and its strength 1, so 4s to block, 2 damage. Now, as the ships are all going to be flying past each other shortly, I think what we'll do is destroy the front-mounted improvised charge. Okay, and the turret will fire over that Tempest squadron. It's a hit, but it's blocked. Right, back to the rebels. I'm leaving the fuel tenders till last because their eulogy cannons do not have any attacks right now. So let's move Point Maid. Okay, well we don't want to fly into those smart missiles, so we'll come around like this and see what we can target. Alright, so we can shoot the precision cannon into the rear of the Gleam of Orvax. This gives us a +1 to hit. It's just 1 attack. That's a miss. Alright, we'll fire the turret at the same. That's 2 hits with the +1 to hit. And there's a toughness penalty as well for the rear arc. So toughness is 5+. 1 damage goes through. And that's it for the Gleam. Kaboom! Okay, distant Harrier next, so we'll drop some smart missiles. Try stopping us then is just in line of sight of the rail lock array, just skirting the edge of that space station. So let's fire it. 1 hit. Strength 2, toughness 3, so 5 or better needed to block it. That is 1 damage. Okay, we'll take that damage on the Assault Scrambler. Right, the rebels need to move one of their fuel tenders next. This space station's moved somehow. Let's put it back to where it was. And let's move probably more than enough. Now, the eulogy cannon cannot fire, so we're just going to hold position, turn this way, and then fire the turret into the rear of Canted Horizon. Right, just a single attack, which hits. Is it blocked? No, that is 1 damage. Oh, let's not forget the Tide Shield. So the Tide Shield absorbs the bullets. Next up we have the Scythe of Aoru, who will move and fire its rangefinder into try stopping us then. +1 to hit for hitting the rear arc, so that is actually 3 hits. And these become laser spotter markers. Now, although we don't have the Gleam of Orvax with its precision teleporter, these markers still do affect smart missile hits. And then the turret will shoot at that Tempest squadron there, and it's a miss. The other rebel fuel tender now, don't ask about reserves, who will chug along slowly here. Still no eulogy cannon, but we can fire the turret into the side of the ship. So a single attack against Threxel's Promise. Where did that go? And it's a miss. And finally, Azure Descent. So we will drop 2 smart missile squadrons, and then the rail lock array. I do not want to blow up that fuel tender because Threxel's Promise will get caught in the blast. So we'll fire it at Better Than Walking. Third hand ships are not very manoeuvrable, so hitting on a 3 or better, that is 2 hits. And strength 2, so blocking on 6s. That is 2 damage. I think we're going to say goodbye to the ship. Yeah, there goes the rapid cannon, and indeed, the whole ship blows up. The final light ship this round is Threxel's Promise, who is going to cruise over here, escaping with the objective. On to the medium ships phase, and try stopping us then has to deal with this boarding party that's teleported on, so I roll 5 dice on a 1 to a 4 on each, that's 1 damage. On a 5 or a 6, that's a boarding party taken out. So we have, oh, that's not a great assault, is it? So we've got 3 of the boarding party squads taken out and only 2 damage. I was expecting more from you. So there goes the assault scrambler and 1 damage on the last gasp gun. Right, that does present the rebels with a bit of a problem though, because if Try Stopping Us then picks up the objective, it is going to die in the 4th round and drop the objective, which means I really need Point Made to pick up the objective instead. Okay. Well, blow it. They're going to pick it up anyway, so we'll move, making a sharp 90-degree turn to avoid those smart missiles. They've picked up the objective, I guess. Okay, Rebel HQ is going to fire the last gasp gun into Canted Horizon. We have got 2 hits. Strength 1, so 5s to block. There we go. Bounces off the armour. And then the turret, which has an extra attack because of People's Hammer. We're going to fire it at these battle suits. So that looks like 2 hits to me. Strength 1, toughness is 4+, so 5s to block. That's just 1 damage, didn't take them out. There we go. I suppose there's no reason why I couldn't have targeted the already damaged battle suits, since squadrons don't block line of sight. Oh well, never mind, that's it, it's the end of the round. Alrighty, the 4th and final round. We're going to start with a rebel squadron. I think the plan is to try and take out Point Made. Yes. Because if I destroy the medium ship now, Point Made is going to swoop in and grab that objective. So let's start with some battle suits. We need to get rid of this escort. So let's come on around here. 3 attacks, 2 hits. And toughness 5+ for the Tempest squadron. That's 2 damage. It's gone. Alright, the rebels can see what you're trying to do. Let's send over the fighter squadron to engage the other battle suits. So 3 attacks with anti-squadron. No! They all miss. Okay, the other DAO Union battle suits. They can move out of engagement because they are battle suits. We're going to come on over here and attack the rear of Point Made. They only need 3s to hit. An equally bad assault there by the DAO Union squadron. Okay, this Tempest squadron is going to kind of fly over this way here. This will engage the smart missiles. They will blow up. Will it damage the Tempests? No, they block. So now we can fire the turret into Canted Horizon. 2 attacks at strength 2. 1 hit. Strength 2? That can't be right. Strength 0. So 4s to block. Nope. And we do still have a Tide Shield. Yes, so an extra 4+ save. Nope, that is 1 damage on Canted Horizon. We may as well take it on the Tide Shield. And then it's just smart missiles to move. Alright, so we have smart missiles flying into Don't Ask About Reserves, who does not block and takes 1 damage. On the Eulogy Cannon. And then these smart missiles have gone for Try Stopping Us then anyway. We're going to use up these laser marker tokens to get in 3 extra hits. So toughness is 3+. Blocks all but 1, that is 1 damage. But that, it seems, is all it takes. That is all 3 modules destroyed. Kaboom! And the objective is dropped just there. This does now mean that the eulogy cannons can fire. Right, we're on to light ships, and I don't think the DAO Union can actually pick up the objective. 90 degrees is the maximum I can turn when I move, so yeah, they can't get to it. Tragic. So what the DAO Union will do is try and protect the objective they are carrying, and will have Azure Descent fire its rail lock array at Don't Ask About Reserves. Fuel tenders are easy targets. However, that's still only 1 hit. You still need a 6 to block, buddy. That's it. That is 1 more damage, and it's gone. So eulogy cannon shots go up to 2. And with only 2 ships left, the Rebels will be taking morale checks. So I'm about to move point made. I felt like it would be able to pick up the objective, but actually if it moves, it can't quite get the distance. If it cruises, it can't get the angle. So we'll just do this. I wonder if my 2/3 measurements is throwing off my estimation of things. If I play again, I'll just use normal measurements. Point made will fire its precision cannon at canted horizon and hit. Strength 2, so 6 needed to block. Nope, that is 1 damage. They have a tide shield, which defends them. Turret firing at the same. 1 hit. Strength 0. It's blocked. I should have added their balls move the fuel tender first for the eulogy cannon. Oh well, never mind. We're going to have canted horizon, hold position, turn to face, probably more than enough, and blast it with an energy cannon. Say goodbye. That's 2 hits. Can't see you defending this. That's 2 damage, which of course is enough to blow it up. Okay, I don't think there's any need to move any more light ships. That's pretty much the end. 1 objective floating in space, the other one captured by the DAO Union. So that is a win for the DAO Union. I do still want to make the morale check for point made. I want to know if they would abandon ship or keep on fighting. So we roll a die, add 2 for the 2 undisabled modules. Didn't get damaged at all. And yes, they passed their morale check. So they escaped to fight another day.